Charismatic Volume 2 was recorded and produced at Mitchell Park, Adelaide, South Australia, Parkside, Adelaide, South Australia, Largs Bay, Adelaide, South Australia, Kadina, South Australia, Tumut, New South Wales, Norraville, Central Coast, New South Wales, and South Yarra, Melbourne, Victoria in 2021. So, the story continues. Still located at Mitchell Park, feelings and moods were getting very heavy at this stage. I was still dwelling on what had happened previously, what I had spoken about in the last episode. As Turner and I went in our own directions, I was feeling hurt. I'm sure he was too. I felt lost. Felt like everything was different now. The excitement had left, and I felt like I had lost my backbone. This is how the next song, On My Own, came about. The song was pretty popular, especially on Spotify. This song was proclaiming my heartbreak, loss, and depression, but being strong enough to keep going. My music world was no longer the same, but As a Wild was there to help me through this situation, and he was there for advice. Not only for that, but he helped me write some awesome lyrics for this song, which I thought really helped the pop culture behind the track. The music video went off, showing a lot of emotion. Next, I decided to release an EP of the track. Problem was, the distribution company I was working with would not allow me to release the EP under the same name as the single, because it's already been used. Wait a second. Remember I released the single Rescue Me? And then I released an EP under the same name. So why are they not letting me do it now? I sent an email in regards to the situation. I got a reply back. Oh, we've changed our policies. Okay. Well, that's ridiculous. So what do? I have to change the name of it. So I went ahead, listened to the song. I picked the next best punchline from the song and I called it I'll Let You Go. Now on this EP there were a few remixes and there were 2 bonus tracks, To the Moon and Change. I also re-released the music video again to go with the remix Dainty Electron. People really liked this remix, even more so than the original. Probably because it was a little bit more upbeat. It really had a beat behind it. It's really nice remix. So to be honest, this release created a bit of a stir. Some people thought I was taking a stab at certain people, but that was not the case. Everything I write comes from a good place. People will share their thoughts. I shared mine through a song, which is what led me to the track From My Roots. I wanted to return to my roots pretty much for healing purposes. I decided to release an EP, this time from the word go. That way the distribution company had nothing to say, and they didn't. It was all clear to go. Along with the music video, which went really well, this EP contained some authentic stripped back tunes such as Possession, Reborn, My Life, and Never Give Up, as well as the Jolyon Transit remix of the track, which also had a makeshift audio music video to it. Now, getting back to the music video, it was a lot more positive and showed a lot more confidence compared to the last release on my own. But did you notice I'm still being flirty, being that happy-go-lucky guy, and showing that I feel good? So unfortunately we had to move from Mitchell Park as the house was sold. What was more unfortunate was at this point in time there was a housing crisis going on in Adelaide. Pretty much everywhere else, really. And there still is. Our housemates found alternative living arrangements, and my partner and I went and stayed with some friends in Northfield, in the northern suburbs of Adelaide, just for a few months until we could find somewhere to live on our own permanently. Eventually we found a place which was located at Parkside. Everyone I told where we lived, they would say how lovely that area is. I totally agree. It's very quiet and very peaceful. Just what we needed. Once we moved in, it was time to reset up the studio again. Fun. And being in the new setup, this is where I started this series in the first place. How about that? And can I just take a moment to thank everyone who has taken their time out to start watching this series. I love you all and thank you so much. Next, I released my next single, Tame the Lions. There's a backstory behind this one. I had an influx of guys messaging me, wanting to meet up, hang out, and possibly more. The weird thing was, these boys were all Leos. Right. The lions were hungry. But unfortunately for them, and fortunately for me, I have a partner, and it wasn't going to happen. Yet that didn't make any difference. The cat's curiosity and persistence tried to take over me, but I fought back. That's how this song came to light. The lyrics were so self-explanatory. The music video was a big tease though, showing people what I got that they can't have. That's a bit of an attitude. My ego was booming at this point. There was another thing about this track. The beat was originally made for Turner, and the song was called Queen. But it never got released as we were both doing our own things. So I took it upon myself to change it into a song of mine. I lowered the key and I had changed a few little bits and pieces in there. Obviously the melody, and yeah, completely different song. But in the near future, I am considering changing it back, but with a bit more of an upgrade. Next was an audio-only release from As of Wild and I. This song was called Fluid. This has to be one of my favourites from the album, as it really gave this tune a Whitney Houston kind of vibe. There were talks of a music video, but our resources and timing weren't all that great, so we gave it a miss. Then not long down the track, Love and Light was released, along with a remix EP, and soon to follow, a music video. We were both in this one, as it was a duo after all. This song obviously gave a happy-go-lucky vibe. I guess that's what Love and Light does. He shot his scenes at his house in Largs Bay, and I shot mine here in Parkside. It came together pretty well. It was a fun project. Now, COVID was still here, and it was mutating at a fierce rate. So much so that they had brought out vaccines, and everyone had to wear masks when leaving the house. They said that if you didn't have at least one vaccination, you couldn't work, or you couldn't travel interstate. That created an uproar in the community. A lot of people lost their jobs because they refused to take the vaccine due to the side effects that were reported. Due to my family living in New South Wales, I felt it was necessary to get vaccinated. And due to my job being a cleaner, I was face on with it. So I had the job to take care of the community. So I had the jab. Yes, I got a bit ill from it, but I'm fine now. I've had 3, and I'm fine. Anyway, there were more lockdowns put in place due to a massive wave that had come through. So I released the next song, another collaboration, but with another artist. This artist was from Tumut, New South Wales, Ty Ladlow. This song was called Reach Out. This electronic R&B track got a fair bit of play, and the music video did alright also. A simple video of both of us in lockdown, in our homes, singing about reaching out to those who need it in these trying times. There was another song that Ty Ladlow and I did. It was on the album, but it wasn't released as a single. This song was called Believe in Yourself. In these times though, we do lose sight of our positivity in the lives that we live. And if we doubt ourselves, don't doubt, because you shouldn't doubt what you can achieve. Believe in yourself, and you will get to where you want to be mentally, which will physically take you there. Now, I'd like to talk about a track that was once a duo turned into a trio. This song featured As a Wild and a local drag queen sensation, Izzy Good. This fun and cheeky track was going to be a release, but it was so difficult to get all three of us in the same place at the same time to make this goddamn music video. It would have been fabulous too, but it just didn't happen. But that's okay. Bigger and better opportunities always lay ahead. There were other sexy tracks that As a Wild was featured in, such as Chaotic and Early Morning. But in saying that, he did help me write a few of the other tracks on the album. He really helped unlock a new skill that I had nurtured. I want to thank you, Az, for that. I'll always appreciate it. There were also 3 other collaborations on this project. Abilities with Joom X from Kadena in South Australia. I really loved this airy spiritual song we did. Joom's powerful voice really shone bright. He gave a Cher vibe to this. It was a beautiful duet, I felt. Then there was Do You Really Wanna with Brad Wolf from Melbourne. This emotional yet soul-y track really took our ears for a spin, and it was quite sexy in a very emotional kind of way. I really liked it. Then at this point of the year, it had been about 7 months since Turner and I really spoke properly. I approached him and I wanted to apologise for what had been said, and yeah, I just wanted to reach out, and yeah, everything seemed to be okay after that. I mean, trust is a building thing, and I felt like that I burnt my bridges, and obviously it was going to take time to rebuild that bridge. But I was still really happy that we were talking again. I asked for a favour though. It wasn't big. Well, it kind of was, but Turner and I wrote a song called Isolated back those 11 months ago, singing about the lockdowns and not seeing anyone for a time. I asked Turner if I could include this track on the album because it was very relevant. Of course he said yes. And guess what? It turned out to be the most played song on the album. Booyah. Now, there is one more track I released from this album as a single a month before the album was due to arrive. That song was called Space Adventurers. This song was different. It was disco-y. It was funky. It was my vibe. And this song was actually pretty popular. It got a fair few plays, but though the music video, that's a different story within itself. So let's talk about it. I brought my cartoon back to life. It was me and the cartoon of myself, incorporated in real life and in animation in space, and on a starship. The video was a lot of fun to create. It was timely and fiddly, but it was a lot of fun. And it was popular. People loved it. This track is my number one favourite on this album. Oh yeah, and Fluid. Oh, I can't make up my mind. Charismatic Volume 2 was finally released on my birthday of all days, on October 12th, 2021. It was a great day. Loads of plays, loads of feedback. I was feeling the love. It was amazing. The album started off with an introduction track, something I've never done before. It was called Groove Every Day. Then it gets straight into the first track, Going All Out. This was a favourite to many people. The funky disco dance was already in full swing, which is what you want to hear from your favourite artist. There were other album tracks not yet mentioned, such as All That Was, Lifted, and Live and Let Live, and of course, Charismatic 2. Unfortunately, I didn't release Charismatic as a single because I had so many other iconic tracks released as singles and on the album. So I thought, as being the album title track, I felt it had enough popularity about it. So for this volume, I spiced it up into a full dance track instead of the disco vibe the original track had. It wasn't necessarily a remix, it was more of a remake, if that makes sense. Now, there was an update, or an upgrade, of the Soul Merge production logo. I created the first original one, as the font is the same as the Andy Joel logo. As a Wild created this one, the next one was presented to me. The font with my face hiding behind it was absolute genius. Which brings us to the cover art of Charismatic 2. My eyes are hiding behind the Andy Joel font, just like in the Soul Merge production logo. It was an awesome concept. I actually really liked it. So I approved it and I said, good on you, Azza, for that. I didn't ask for you to do that, but you did it, and it looked amazing, and a lot of other people loved it as well. Yeah, it was showing off his creativity, and I really appreciated that. A month later, Turner and I decided to step back and re-release Emergency as an EP, as intended back 11 months earlier. Turner upgraded the cover art to a green hue rather than the black and white he originally planned. Also, the music video was redone as well. It got a lot of attention and it turned a few heads. Got some old faces' attention too. I felt content once again. Turner and I working together makes me feel complete for some reason. We're like the dream team. Christmas was just around the corner, so I had an existing Christmas song called This Christmas that I created back in 2018. So at the start of December, I decided to finally release it as an audio-only release, and oh my goodness, so many people added it to their Christmas playlists. It's one of my most played songs on Spotify. It got a bit of promo from the queer groups on Instagram. Thanks guys. you're always on the lookout for my music. So just after Christmas and before the year was out, I re-released Out of My Head as an EP to tie up the last few loose ends I had in my discography. The EP contained a few remixes of Out of My Head and 2 bonus tracks, I Love It When and On the Other Side. Because this song already had a music video, it was just reshared around to let everyone know it still exists. This album was a huge project. With all the collaborations and all the tracks, there were 20 tracks all up on this record. People have asked if there will be a third Charismatic. Maybe. Further down the track. But in saying that, you will find out what does happen next in the next episode of All Things Andy Joel. Thanks for watching, guys. Talk soon.